Next at 7, no charges after a 14-year-old was shot and killed, but deputies say they know who pulled the trigger. The messages mom and dad have for gun-owning parents. Plus, the holes that Sarah Boone's defense team tried poking in the state's expert witness testimony. Coming up.
Tonight's primetime lineup on WESH 2 is sponsored by Orlando Health Heart and Vascular Institute, ranked top 50 in the nation by U.S. News and World Report.
This is the worst feeling to be able to be a parent and having to bury your child.
Parents grieving the loss of their son. We talked to his parents and Marion County investigators about what happened.
And a big announcement concerning the Menendez brothers, who have spent the last 30 years in prison for killing their parents. What the prosecutor is now recommending.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
Tonight, the family of a 14-year-old boy is trying to figure out what led to that teen being shot and killed. This happened on Wednesday night in Marion County.
And as WESH 2 Tonight Gebergeticus reports, investigators believe they know who fired the gun. They just want to know how it happened. Marion County Sheriff's Office says if you know anything that can help with the investigation, to give them a call. Two 14-year-old boys land in the hospital after they were shot. And at this point, deputies have not told us exactly what happened or who may be to blame. But they tell us that they are sure both teens were shot along Huntington Green Court last night. That's just north of the intersection of Texas and Americana. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says it was called a little after 8 Wednesday evening and found a 14-year-old seriously hurt from a gunshot. Another 14-year-old showed up at the hospital, also shot but not as badly injured. Investigators say both teens were likely hurt in the same incident.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, back in the day, you would solve a typical dispute with your hands. Nowadays, you have these kids running around with, guns, all kinds of things.
The Sheriff's Office has not said what might have led up to the shooting, while suggesting this was not a random act. If you have any information in this case, please call the Sheriff's Office. Did she act in self-defense, or was it murder? The Sarah Boone trial continued today with the state's rebuttal to the battered spouse syndrome defense.
WESH 2's Justin Checker listened to today's testimony and shows us new videos that prosecutors played for the jury. And don't forget, you can follow along with the trial by going to WESH.com. We update it with the newest information from the trial. And if you missed it, you can watch Boone's testimony from when she took the stand earlier this week. Right now, we are learning some new details about the moments leading up to a deadly shooting in Orlando. 54-year-old Armando Carolero is accused of shooting and killing his wife, 44-year-old Eunice Rodriguez. Police say it happened Monday outside of a strip mall along Lake Underhill Road and Cimarron Boulevard. Court documents say Carolero was seen holding his wife by the hair as she was on the ground with a bloody face. Shortly after, a witness told police she heard 3 shots fired and then saw Carolero fleeing the scene. Police say he actually called 911 himself and admitted to shooting his wife. He was arrested in Indian River County and then transferred back to Orange County. In Polk County tonight, we are working to get new information about an armed standoff that happened with deputies that came to a deadly end. Deputies say they got a call from someone who said their brother, 41-year-old Aiden Rodriguez, was going to kill himself and his wife. When deputies got to the home, they say Rodriguez came out onto a second-floor balcony, pointed a gun at them, and then went back inside. He later came out a second time, and deputies say he pointed a gun at them again, and a deputy fired his gun toward Rodriguez. When he ran back inside, deputies followed him, shooting several times.
If you point a gun at us, we're going to shoot you. We're going to shoot you a lot. We're not going to let you hurt us, and we're going to do everything we can to stop you from hurting your wife, neighbors, other people in the area.
All right, so deputies eventually found the wife's body inside the home. At this point, the investigation is still unclear how she died.
Developing in East Orange County, where 2 bodies were found inside of a burning mobile home. This happened at a home on Indigo Avenue, just south of State Road 50. We got some video from Chopper 2 from this afternoon. Orange County Fire says once they put out that fire, they found those bodies. No word yet on what started the fire.
LA prosecutors on Friday will ask a court to re-sentence Lyle and Eric Menendez, setting the stage now for possible parole. Now, the brothers have spent nearly 30 years in prison after brutally murdering their parents inside their home. Both were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The two men should be eligible for parole immediately.
Let's talk now tropics with Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi. We've been seeing some model runs that have gone back and forth, maybe hinting at a system that could be impacting us.
You know, in 7 to 10 days out, you're on the models every day looking at it with us. They kind of flip-flop at this point because they're trying to locate something. But here's what you need to know. We take you to the Caribbean, Stu. Things are quiet down there right now. What we are going to be looking for, though, sometime next week is for the potential for some showers and some thunderstorms to start bubbling up there in the south or southwestern Caribbean, southwest of Jamaica. Then at that point, the question then becomes, does it follow climatology and head off towards the north and east, or will there be an avenue for this to creep more towards the north if indeed something is able to develop? And that's one of the things we're yet to iron on out. The thing that we've been watching and monitoring, though, we've seen some fronts come through the Gulf cooling things down, but there's plenty of ocean heat content here, fuel, so to speak, to engage a storm to develop. And that's one of the things that is a bit concerning, certainly based upon what we're seeing now going on in the Gulf of Mexico. The GFS model has had an area of low pressure the last couple of days. The European computer model has a broad area of showers and thunderstorms, but nothing quite organized. So we're just going to watch the trends here going forward. Just keep checking back in for updates. I do want to show you one thing. Hurricanes making landfall in Florida are pretty rare. Last time it happened was in 2022 in Nicole. Prior to that, 1985 with Kate and the Yankee hurricane there down across South Florida a long time ago. So again, if you look at climatology, that's on our side. But is the climate changing? That's one of the things we'll be watching here over the next couple of decades. And does this begin to change? Stay tuned on that. Guys, back to you.
Tony, thank you. It's been a slow recovery for folks in Edgewater after Hurricane Milton, but they are finding solutions to deal with flooding that was already an issue before the storm. Residents here in Edgewater were dealing with flooding before Milton arrived. Many have asked city officials to take action, and now a new stormwater mitigation initiative launched this week, promising results. Mayor Diesel Depew says they have secured funding and have several drainage projects that have been talked about for over a year.
It went nowhere. That is all these projects are being sped up. Spray vegetation in the canals, be safe for the lagoon, and we'll get down that vegetation in our canals that our residents complain about to no end.
There are several things in the works right now. Depew assures us that they are doing everything they can for Edgewater residents. We mentioned this before, but if you see planes spraying in your area, it's to deal with the mosquitoes thriving in some of those floodwaters. This week, Orange County is spraying in a number of areas, including Alafaya, Popka, Dr. Phillips, and Lake Nona. Spraying will happen at dusk and at night when mosquitoes are the most active. Osceola County announced that they will not have any required makeup days because of Hurricanes Helene or Milton. They said in a statement a very small number of schools will need to make minor adjustments to their school days to comply with state rules, but students will not have to attend any extra days.
3 area hospitals are now part of the Orlando Health System. Take a look. This is Orlando Health Rockledge, and you can see the signage has already changed over. The other hospitals include Orlando Health Melbourne and Orlando Health Sebastian River Hospital. Patients will see new branding and a larger network of options. Orlando Health says they will focus on learning how to better serve their communities and listen to their experiences.
So we're going to take the time to listen to our patients, listen to our team members, our physicians, our community leaders, and figure out from them what's working well, where are their gaps, where are their opportunities.
Patients will not have to worry about their care plans, they say. The hospital says also that the transition will have minimal impact on treatment. NASA and SpaceX Crew 8 will be back on Earth in a matter of hours. They are scheduled to splash down off of our East Coast around 3:30 tomorrow morning. The crew finally undocked from the International Space Station yesterday. They, of course, had a bunch of delays because of weather issues in the splashdown zone. It pushed their departure back more than 2 weeks.
Right now, people are lining up in early voting to cast their ballots in this election, and not just on races, but also all those amendments on the ballot. I'm WESH 2 News political reporter Greg Fox. I'll take a closer look at the one proposed amendment that would make school board races partisan.
And we've had some gorgeous weather to get out there and vote. Now the question is, just how long is this going to last? I'll have the answer for you. Plus, we'll take a look at all of those outdoor events coming up this weekend. Straight ahead.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Shark Coatings.
Commitment 2024 means you can count on WESH 2 to detail the races and measures on your ballot.
That's right. And right now we are focusing on Amendment 1. WESH 2 News political reporter Greg Fox explains how it could change the face of school board races across Florida. All right, weather-wise, I really hope everyone got outside today for at least 10 minutes because it was beautiful today, and it's a nice night as well.
If you did not get the time, Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi joins us now. This could last for a while, Tone.
Yeah, Summer, I hope it was more than 10 minutes, if you know what I mean. It was that nice out there, and we've got a gorgeous sunset underway here across Central Florida. Readings up in Palm Coast, 73, 75 the Villages, still 80 in and around Kissimmee, and in the upper 70s in the metro areas. The rain today down across South Florida. We take a look at the current river levels. Astor and the land coming down, but still in major flood stage. Sanford, some good news. We have now seen the river come down enough that we're in minor flood stage. Yesterday we were in moderate flood stage, and Lake Harney still in moderate flood stage and likely to stay there through the upcoming weekend. Breezes are taming on down. Fog will be a concern through the interior overnight tonight. We'll use our fog tracker tonight at 10 and 11, and along the coast, rip current concerns still abound and will likely carry on over into your Friday. Let's take a look at the evening planner here. 7, 9, and 11 looking pretty good here. And then out the door tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Check out these temperatures. Yeah, a little taste of fall. 63 in Zellwood. Bithlow, you're at 64. Over towards Conway, 64. Winter Garden coming in at 64. Up into Seminole County here. Lake Mary, Chuliota, 64, 65. DeLand, Deltona, Astor, low 60s. Back towards the coast on the water, upper 60s. Just inland, right around 64, 65. Upper 50s, Marion County. Low 60s from Umatilla to Bushnell on into Claremont. Four Corners area down towards St. Cloud, Kissimmee, 64, 65. Then back towards the coast on the sand. Low 70s, just inland, middle and upper 60s. Few high clouds tonight and tomorrow, but overall comfortable. Temperatures will be in the mid 80s, but the air is still relatively dry. In fact, when you take a look at Futurecast here, you take a look at the upper flow is from the west, the east. The surface flow is coming in off of the Atlantic. But we are going to keep the showers offshore as we head through the day on Friday. So get out there and enjoy it. Temperatures at our beaches, lower 80s, back through the interior, 83 to about 87 degrees. There's a look at Daytona Beach, peaking at about 83, maybe 84 degrees. And then as we get into Friday night, great matchup here in Volusia County between the Titans and the Bulldogs, 74-71. Then there's our high school football game of the week. On into the weekend, there's that big dome of high pressure sliding along I-10. Gorgeous weather. Do get out there and enjoy it. Afternoon highs will be in the low to the mid 80s. Overnight lows will be in the 50s and 60s. And for tailgating tomorrow, as BYU is in town, 80, 3:30 coming in at about 83 on Saturday. Then Sunday, Raymond James Stadium, 81, 85, no mention of any rain. Back to the tropics, nice and quiet out there. We're getting a little breather here. As mentioned, though, late next week on into the first week of November, something may try to bubble on up. The question, though, is, does it follow climatology, go through the Bahamas up towards Bermuda, or is something that is able to develop, able to head more towards the north? Here's the very latest GFS run here now, and you can see it taking a track very close to South Florida, not into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So maybe potentially changing its tune. The only model that's really showing anything significant, by the way. All right, next 7 days, 85, 84, 83. Heading into the weekend, get out there and enjoy it. A few showers to kick off next week. Temperatures then in the lower 80s.
With WESH 2 News, you're at the center of breaking news.
That's because we tell the stories that matter to you.
We know how valuable your time is.
So our time is spent on accurate reporting.
We'll bring you more when we know more.
Bringing you the information you need to know. Alerting you to all that's happening in Central Florida. So you can trust when a story breaks.
We will be there for you.
Stuart Moore and Summer Knowles. Weeknights on WESH 2 News. Local, live, late breaking. This election day, Florida voters will decide on 6 amendments, including legalizing marijuana and abortion rights. WESH 2 is breaking through the noise and getting you the facts before you cast your ballot. The Commitment 2024 Amendment Special, tonight at 7:30.
This First Morning Weather Update is sponsored by Attorney Dan Newlin.
Today is the day for Universal Orlando pass holders to get their first shot at booking single-day tickets to Epic Universe.
That's right. If you haven't heard already, Universal is set to open its newest theme park just in time for Memorial Day weekend. So save the date for May 22nd. Multi-day tickets for the highly anticipated new theme park are also on sale. People can also book to stay at the Helios Grand Hotel, which is on Epic property. You can find all of this information, including our coverage throughout the years, by heading on over to WESH.com. All right. The Orlando Magic kicked off their season with a big win last night in Miami. If you are planning to go tomorrow to the night's home opener, you can take Sunrail for free as long as you have a game ticket. Now, an additional southbound train will also be available after the game. The promotion is available all season long on Magic home game days during the week.
University of Central Florida is celebrating homecoming this week, and looking ahead to tomorrow, thousands of UCF students will attend one of the best campus traditions, the Spirit Splash. It's the only time students are allowed in the reflection pond and try to collect the very rare and prestigious rubber ducks. The Knights will then take on undefeated BYU on Saturday afternoon at 3:30.
That's a pretty cool tradition.
It is.
All right, we are still working on several news stories for you tonight at 11.
Including how strangers rushed to help a family whose little girl was choking on the side of the road. What her parents had in their back seat that ended up saving her life.
And the man accused of killing his wife in broad daylight. WESH 2 is reading through the newly released court documents, and we'll have the new details about what witnesses say happened.
That does it for now. Be sure to join us again at 10 o'clock on the CW 18 and 11 o'clock right here on WESH 2.
The news is always online at WESH.com or by using our free WESH News mobile app. Have a great night.
Thank you for watching WESH 2 News. Get caught up on local news, originals, and more. Download the Very Local app and stream for free on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, iOS, and Android mobile devices.